First, a quick update. If you did watch my TikTok Playboys video, Chess Tiki drops gym game on Milfy Bundelangers. I am pretty sure that Milf Bundelangers is in the Cambridge Dictionary. You will be happy to hear. Please give him a sponsorship, Gymshark, just for my entertainment and a potential gold mine of videos to make fun out of in the future. That Gymshark did indeed promote these two guys. You literally couldn't make this up. And yes, they did their one comedy skit a third time for Gymshark.
Oh, that absolute rocket on the hack squat.
And if you don't know why that is an absolutely ridiculous choice by Gymshark to affiliate with those two guys, HS Tiki Taki secures a mature Bundelangers with ease.
Come here, girl.
Please watch my other video. But let's start as we mean to go on. Stupidity marketed as functional training. Introducing Drop Set Your Brain Cells. I mean, it's not outrageous stupidity. But is that it? And I call this clip Elite Training for Reinventing the Wheel to Create Your Niche in the Fitness Market.
Hashtag functional training.
Have I missed a trend or something? Is not using collars on your barbell now functional? My cat won't wear a collar. Does he qualify? And this one is going into the category of time efficient. This guy, the Decline Intelligence Press guy, he's just reposted that clip in June of this year to promote his coffee, obviously. I'm sold. And here's a guy on steroids, Bosu ball back squatting in his jeans. Don't you go pick up those dumbbells with that Bosu ball you've just placed in front of them. Do sell me a sweating belt product though. And so I found this genuinely funny. Jen Selter doing her usual social media pose. Okay, fine. What happens next? Go on. What do you think happens next in this clip? I bet you didn't guess that Larry Wheels walks into shot. How random is that? And he picks her up, changes angles slightly, a consummate professional, and starts squatting her. I just found that so randomly funny that I had to show you. How do they organize this stuff? Okay, create email, dear Miss Selter, TikTok collab, you red yoga pants, me squat you, interested, yours, Wheels. Right, time to get serious, boring. But to the catalyst of why I'm making this video, and unsurprisingly, it's Chris Hemsworth that's got me annoyed again. Gearing up for Netflix Extraction sequel, the first film was pretty good. Transitioning from heavyweight training to a lot more bodyweight functional movements, concentrating on agility, strength and speed. Give this little workout a go and then a plug for CenterFit. And so this is one of my pet hates, where we see that commonly barbell exercises are seen as non-functional, for example, and what I would term movement pattern training is seen as functional, and it's just not correct. And we see in the fitness industry, people claim the concept functional training for their style of training as their marketing tool, as their niche, as their unique part of the fitness industry. Any type of training that you perform which improves your functional capacity is functional training. Functional fitness prevails. And so reading this community's comments on my other video I did about his occlusion training, people just have absolutely no time for what Hemsworth does or says when it comes to his fitness until he's transparent about his PED use. And that's completely understandable. And here are some Dr. Schoenfeld quotes because I haven't used any for 3 minutes. The term functional fitness is one of the most misapplied concepts in exercise science. Fact is, virtually all exercises can be functional depending on context. And so the context is key. And one of the keys is if it improves functional capacity, it's functional. So what is functional capacity? It's essentially your ability to perform challenges or tasks. A barbell back squat is functional. It has the application to daily physical tasks. It can improve your lower body strength, your core stabilization, your mobility, a whole host of attributes the barbell back squat can improve. For the majority of the population, simply getting stronger, regardless of exercise employed, will enhance functional capacity. Ultimately, the functional transfer of an exercise exists on a continuum, with certain exercises having greater application than others based on individual goals and abilities. Just because a given exercise may provide greater functional transfer for a given person doesn't necessarily mean that the other exercise is non-functional. But of course, the caveat to that is people doing these stupid things. Not the best idea, is it? Where people use no critical thinking or careful planning at all, and it ends how you imagine it does. And to be clear before we move on, kettlebells, for example, are a great tool. And yes, this is functional training, absolutely. But my point in this video is, so is barbell work, so are traditional lifts. This thing over here is also a functional tool. And so don't get me wrong, movement training with kettlebells, with dumbbells, plyometrics, medicine balls, steel maces, they are equipment that absolutely can all be used effectively and absolutely can embrace functional training. But it's important to remember that when it comes to physiology, anything that you do in the gym which improves your functional capacity is functional training. And that involves traditional barbell lifts such as the bench press, for example. And here's a good example. Standing dumbbell press, absolutely correct. A traditional lift, And yes, it's functional. He explains stabilization by using the standing variation, but in the world of sexy social media, a dumbbell press is not really projected as functional training, when absolutely it isn't a functional training exercise. And so what is the problem with the incorrect communication of what functional training is? Well, in many cases, it can lead to people doing the stuff that you've just seen. And those clips, to be clear, is literally scratching the surface of the idiocy you'll see on social media of people performing some type of functional training, which in reality is just stupidity. And this man Bosu ball squatting because he thought it was functional performance training with attached meaningless description is the perfect example of that. Now, we need to take this stupidity and put it to one side, but let's think about traditional exercises in the gym, and we need to stop being so tribal with our categorization of what functional training is. As long as you have overload and specificity with your exercise selection, then it's most likely functional training, excluding the stupidity, of course. We have to think about functional training on a spectrum. Your exercise selection on that spectrum depends on your needs, your specificity, your goals, your injury history, for example. There are many, many variables which go into your exercise decisions. And therefore, for example, no one can tell you, for example, that if you are military pressing in the gym, that is not functional training, if they don't know your personal reasons for performing that exercise. We cannot just take certain types of training or exercises and class them as functional and class other exercises as non-functional in this generic way that we see in the fitness industry. And what I want to say is what I see some people labeling as functional training is generally what I would class as movement training, involving training multiple planes of motion in these exercises, and that's absolutely great. But we have to stop being so tribal and understand that traditional barbell lifts are also functional training. And this for me has been perpetuated by people who are selling something. So people will classify certain exercises as functional training so that they can create their unique niche in the fitness industry and package that, and they have something special which they're then selling to people. And absolutely, yes, their training may be functional, absolutely, but so are other protocols too. And to end, whilst on the hashtag functional fitness, I found something that I genuinely have never seen before, introducing the squeeze bar. So here it is on the bench press. And so I want your thoughts, I want your ideas on this. I want to look into it a bit more in future, but how could I not show you this when I saw it? And this is a real product with a website, and it should be out about now, I think. Time under tension, anyone?